Hello and welcome to Profiles in Risk. This is your host, Tony Cañas, and today I have with me Lynn Miller, Product Development Strategist and Growth Consultant at Straight Talk Writer, which is a bit of a tongue twister for me. Lynn, thank you for joining me today. How's it going?
Good. How are you, Tony?
Fantastic. I just got home from 3 days in Vegas at a conference and
Wow.
here for 3 days of recovery before heading back to Vegas for a whole week. So this is the calm before the last storm of the year, and I'll be done with my extensive fall conference season. I believe we connected in Chicago, right?
We did. We connected in Chicago.
So that was what, like a month and a half ago?
Yeah, it seems like longer, but it probably wasn't.
That was the beginning of my road trip, and I'm still on the road basically.
Oh, wow.
Yep,
Okay.
yep. So I finally get to go back south after next week. So Chicago, late October, it's either already freezing or it is beautiful fall.
Neither one. It's raining.
Oh,
But
okay, rain.
it's kind of warm. It's not cold yet. Next week.
Okay, 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 perfect. We are recording October 26th, so just before Halloween week. All right. So we always give the guest the chance to give the elevator pitch. What is Straight Talk?
Well, Straight Talk Writer really is a consulting firm, and the 10x Your Expertise brand was built out of that because I really am committed to people who are experts and have a lifetime of expertise and knowledge and presentations and material to use that in ways that will help them generate more revenue.
Okay. And we have a lot of those with insurance, and when I first started in insurance 12, 13 years ago, it was kind of hard to go off on your own. At least on the carrier side, it was very hard to go off on your own. And nowadays, with the insurtech movement, we've had lots of people make that choice. Lots of people either make the retire but not retire, like retire but do a lot of consulting.
Yeah.
Or even I'm seeing a lot of Gen Xers choosing to not pursue the highest level rungs of the corporate ladder, and instead becoming independent, taking their expertise on the road, so to speak. So knowing how to do that is a very hard thing.
It is. Knowing how to do that is difficult because you have so much expertise. People have so much expertise that they're not sure really what expertise to put forward to the person who they really want to make an impact on most. So we have a process. So 10x Your Expertise is a consulting process that really helps people think about how they want to make a difference in the world using their expertise and focusing on that to bring out in front of clients.
Okay, so you're basically coaching consultants and potential independent consultants.
Yeah, helping them. I'm actually helping them productize their expertise so that they can really make money off of some kind of blended online set, all kinds of programs and assets. That's what I mean by 10x Your Expertise. It can go. You can expand your expertise, and in turn, that expands your business.
Okay, that makes sense. Yes, the productize side. So basically, regardless of how much you can get an hour from a high level client, from a high level consulting assignment, you're probably gonna do better if you can package that up in a way that's valuable to many potential clients.
Correct.
And without having to re-give the information over and over and over and over again.
Absolutely. So some of your expertise that matters, that you enjoy delivering or enjoy sharing, would be better served if you had it someplace where people could have availability, accessibility, and affordability, because your consulting services are very expensive. So
Mhm.
this is a way to kind of reach more people and save your time for the people who have more money to spend.
Okay. And the technology to do this properly, has this existed for a long time, or is this
That's
fairly
a great question. The technology to do this in corporations, like insurance companies, where I've had a lot of experience in my past, has existed since the year 2000, and maybe before that. But for business owners or people with small businesses, it hasn't been as affordable or accessible. So now it is. Now it is. It's very affordable and accessible, and it's fairly simple to use. If you have, it's not overly complicated. And the good news is you can collect money using this system and make the system customized to each kind of company's goals and things like that. So there's a lot of flexibility once you have that technology in place
so
to
you don't have
create
to
interesting experiences.
go get a master's in curricular design or anything
No,
like that to do it. It's more about the strategy of what you really want to do.
absolutely. It's mostly about the strategy, about what you want people to be able to do because of your expertise. So whatever new actions you want them to take, whatever transformation you want, that's what the focus of the course should be, or the focus of the whole program. It could be multiple programs, and you deliver it in part in multiple ways. You deliver it partly by pre-recorded content, you deliver it by materials, and you deliver it by one-on-one consulting coaching. So it's a blended approach.
Okay. So if I'm a recently retired executive with a variety of experience, or other, with a variety of experience, and I think this is what I want to do with my next chapter.
Sure.
What does it look like? Partnering with you to make this happen. What does that process look like?
Yeah. So the people that I love working with most are people who are in their second or third act, and what I say, not done yet. So, so those people really work with me on figuring out, what do they enjoy, what part of their expertise do they enjoy using most. So for me, I had a business development background and a sales background and a learning background. And what I really loved using most was all of my learning experiences and online learning experiences to help. And I always wanted to help people grow a business. That never changed. So that I used two things. And that's what I wanted to do in my last act. So it depends on what you enjoy most. Which part of the work have people really, have you seen real change, and do you want to change more people? It's whatever you want to make as a difference. And I really believe that it's a travesty to waste expertise on just a few people who can afford it. I think everybody should have access to it and be able to afford it. So this is a way to do that.
That makes perfect sense. Um, do you have a couple of success stories of the things that have been launched?
Yeah. So what it looks like is people who is, for example, let's just, is an expert who was a coach. She was a leadership expert. She coached senior leaders inside organizations, and only senior leaders. But the senior leaders wanted her to have a less expensive way for their directors to have access to her expertise. And what we did was look at all the leadership coaching she did and said, where did the mindset shift take place with the people that she worked with? And she said, it actually happened before the coaching, when they were doing assessments, and they developed a lot of self-awareness about what their strengths were and what they needed to work on. And so the purpose of the course is to help people shift their mindset on the value of self-awareness. And as a result of developing more self-awareness and really starting to develop your own plan for growth, that's what prepares you for coaching. And then she can upsell her services to coaching. But the first core program was about self-awareness and assessment. So that's one example. There was another example where there was a LinkedIn expert who dealt with thousands and thousands of people to get their LinkedIn profiles better. And I asked this person, what do you really want to see change that hasn't changed to your satisfaction? And this person said, I don't understand why smaller, medium-sized companies don't use LinkedIn to improve and enhance and extend their employer brand, so that people want to come and work for them and people want to do business with them. I don't understand why they can't do that. I said, well, what if you could do that? She said, I would love to do that. So instead of doing one at a time, we created a program for teams inside small, medium companies to learn how to create a strong employer brand on LinkedIn. And she's just about finished with that course.
Yeah,
but it's going to be super successful because they'll be able to spend, I don't know, 10 times more money than they did with doing it one at a time.
Makes perfect sense. And once you've helped them strategize, do you also help them with the actual building of the course, the actual of the course?
After we strategize, I help use the content they already have. So let's look at presentations, let's look at worksheets, let's look at whatever you have, and figure out how those presentations, et cetera, would fit into a program. So we kind of create a little roadmap for what to use in terms of materials. And then we go to create the courses, and they can create it themselves with some guidance from me. After I create the content development plan, they can create them themselves, but I usually don't. I like it better if there's a way for us to do it together.
Okay.
So if they're really good at PowerPoint, I will give them direction and they can do that on their own. There's also a lot of tools out there that they can use to help them create that. So, and there's a lot of services out there. So I work with a couple of different partners of mine who can actually create those programs for them.
Okay. And what about the marketing piece? Once it's been built, how do we get the word out?
Good point. So one of the things that I've just added is creating a customer journey specifically for the program, and the customer journey is, how do you attract people who don't know you? How do you get them acquainted with what your expertise is? So we use some of the content that wasn't for the course. We use some of that for the customer journey, and they can create little webinars, little videos, little worksheets and tips and tricks, so that people say, oh, this person is somebody I can trust. What else do they have? So we do the customer journey. And then after the course, when the course is all packaged up and priced and ready to go and be purchased, we actually create launch programs using webinars and things like that.
Perfect.
So we really take them all the way through.
Okay. And the when this goes live, I will tag you on LinkedIn.
Okay.
And I will include the website, which is fulcrumnetwork.com/getready210x. Right.
Yes, you're right. You're right.
I'll include that link. Thank you very much for your time today.
So I don't know if there's anything else you really wanted to say. I don't know if this is really what you were hoping to accomplish, but the insurance, and do you want to talk about the insurance industry and how this
Yes,
helps?
yes, yes. I
So,
don't even know where to start there. So yeah.
okay, so let's talk about the insurance industry. They're the experts there, the agencies, just the agencies develop certain areas of expertise, or the underwriters develop certain areas of expertise, and they don't want to do their underwriting anymore, and they don't want to do sales anymore. So there's a lot of agencies out there that need help, and they can't afford like a business consultant or a business coach. So the people who are the experts, it would be really great if you could, provide a certain amount of learning that is easy to adapt, because I know that it has to be different for every state for continuing education. It has to be different CE, and there's different continuing education requirements. So I see it as a huge opportunity for continuing education in the insurance industry. And technology in big companies in the insurance industry is pretty prevalent, but the smaller ones should be able to access it as well.
Okay, so it's something that was not available before, and it's now very affordable even for small agencies.
Yeah, I think it's a work in progress. The industry for this business is 300 billion, and it's growing to 600 billion in the next 7 years.
Okay, so it is going through a time of massive growth.
Massive. Yeah. So some people are saying there's resources out there that can do everything for you all at once for a big ticket price, and I don't believe in that. I believe you take people where they are and you move them forward slowly. So I believe in a more collaborative approach, and I think that the experts should have a say and involvement in creating these programs, because it's you that the people are interested in learning from, not just a computer.
Okay, have you seen any examples of agencies, of insurance agencies doing this really well?
I haven't. I haven't. I think there's a lot of agencies thinking about doing it
Okay.
now. In terms of operations, how to operate your agency better, how to develop your sales people better. I think it's a work in progress. And so there might be some off-the-shelf things out there by bigger companies that's available, but what's coming out are people who've been successful for 20 years and want to share that.
And we have lots of those people, right? We're an industry that just a few years ago, the stats said that we had 30% more baby boomers than the average industry. And a great part of the reason for that is because it's a wonderful industry to work in. So people tend to stay, right?
Sure.
And we are not particularly good at making sure that knowledge is shared with the next generation. So anything we can
ensure equality. I mean, let's just talk about ensure equality. I mean, there's an opportunity. The whole next generation needs help from this generation. And you might not want to be mentors, but you still have something to offer.
Absolutely.
So my feeling is find a way to find somebody to help get that expertise from your day-to-day work and out of your head in a way that people can learn a little bit at a time. Because the biggest mistake that people, especially in insurance, make, because you have so much information, is they share too much at once. So you have to share small amounts of information at a time.
Ken, you have to leave it in a way that they can keep
building
on that, not
you can't give it all at once. They have to learn it, they have to practice it, they have to show that they know how to do what to do with it, and they have to learn from stories. And who's got the best stories? The people with the most experience.
Of course. Of course.
So
And
that's really what I want to pull out the stories, the success stories from the people who've been in business a long time.
okay. And for the listeners who are not familiar, Insure Equality, insureequality.org, Chicago-based nonprofit working on improving DI within insurance, and with a focus on accountability, not just education, and doing just wonderful things. I happen to be on the board mostly as a big loudspeaker. I'm not the engine behind it. Lisa Stamp is by far the brain of the operation, and she's incredible. How you were at the conference, right?
I was at the conference, and
how was it?
for me, the conference was great. I think the biggest awakening for me was how much the workplace has changed since I was in it. And the thing that I was most surprised about is psychological safety, and how that's become really important, and inclusivity, and the breadth of inclusivity that is being looked at now. So that everybody has a chance either to create an agency or work in organizations, and because it's an opportunity. I mean, there are lots of jobs in the insurance industry, lots and lots of them, and I think that people are thinking of it as always in sales, but there's more to it than that.
Sales and claims is the only thing that people think about when it comes to insurance if they've never worked in it, and we have so much more.
Right.
There definitely has been post-COVID an incredible awakening where I'm seeing conversations at conferences about much deeper levels of diversity and inclusion. I'm seeing conversations about mental health, which was never mentioned pre-COVID. I've been to so many conferences, never mentioned pre-COVID.
Right.
And I've now seen it. Insure Equality was, the whole day was basically dedicated to psychological safety, diversity, inclusion, mental health. At CPCU, we had a great panel on claims adjuster burnout with a very strong focus on mental health. And just yesterday at Applied Net, great panel on mental health, and with 4 industry leaders, mostly from InsurTech, being radically open about their own experiences with mental health, and encouraging others to do the same. And those conversations we were just not having. And Insure Equality is very much at the tip of that spear, but they're happening more and more. And I think it's so very important.
I think that I think insurance is changing. I mean, if you think about healthcare in general, healthcare is changing pretty fast and needs a lot of help. And insurance, what needs to be insured, who needs to be insured, what people need to be insured for, is changing pretty dramatically, just because of the world.
Yeah, no, and the customer we're serving is changing, and the employee force is changing radically, right? Gen Zers who are now entering the workforce for the last 3 or 4 years, they're the ones that are graduating from college. They're the first generation that is almost exactly 50% minority, right? And 20% of them identify as LGBT, which is twice what we thought in prior generations, right? So yes, it is changing radically fast, and as an industry, we're not very good at changing fast. So yeah, it's really awesome work. Again, thank you so much for your time today.
You're welcome.
Interesting.
Okay.
Thank you.
Take care.